This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching The Man Who Fell to Earth. This is episode 2, and I have to say, with this second episode, I like this more than the pilot. I feel like this added a lot more to the story and made it a little bit more interesting because I didn't know how to feel based off the first episode. I liked it, but this one definitely was interesting as we kind of see exactly why this character is here, our alien friend, and it's kind of like a signal. The tornado was pretty much like a signal, or just like a pocket little dimension where these two could talk. Um, we see he's talking to um his teacher, or the person that put him on this mission, and we learn that people stole his company. So he was actually the first person to land on Earth, and he kind of speaks more like an Earthling compared to him. Now I don't know if this is like some type of alien mixed with like AI or something, because he called him like what do you call him? He called him a droid, which maybe that could just be saying he acts more like a robot, or maybe it's a mixture of both. But he pretty much wants him to go find this company named Origin, because they stole it from me and you need to take it back. So that's where we're at the beginning of this series. So that's interesting. And I still think it's something where, you know, they're going to have to use the planet Earth to save their own people, which when he gets that revelation, I don't know if he's going to go through with it, or if he's actually going to go through with it. That would be a really dope and kind of a dark, twisted kind of ending for this series. How long it may go, I have no idea. If this is just going to be a one-off, we'll have to wait and see. But Justin does get to see what our alien friend actually looks like, and kind of freaks her out. She ends up going off. He ends up going to this bar, and starts to act weird towards this waitress. Starts to say some really weird things, and starts to say, "Oh, you're pregnant," and like over analyzing everything. And he's just acting really weird, and this kind of freaks out this chick. But on the other side of things, I like that we kind of get to see more of Justin and her family, and how she's taking care of her father, and her connection with her daughter. But Faraday just keeps getting himself into trouble, our alien friend, that and whatnot. And it's crazy how he's able to interact with people and just automatically like pick up the language and whatnot. He's talking to this guy, and he's talking about being an immigrant and stuff. He ends up finding himself in this airport, where he starts to kind of just start to freak out. And I think it has something to do with water. Like he constantly needs water, and I think he gets dehydrated quicker than actual human beings. And maybe it has something to do with him being on Earth, and him just not just yet adjusting to everything, because for some odd reason he's able to kind of interfere with the electronics, and it's interfering with him as well. So that's why I said, like, is this a mixture of like some type of alien and some type of like cyborg or something like that? Because I'm curious. It wouldn't make sense, because you saw in the first episode he was kind of transforming and kind of almost looked more machine-esque. So he pretty much gets into it. He gets himself arrested. Meanwhile, we get introduced to a new character named Spencer. He's like a CIA agent, and he's going to pretty much look into this, and I think he's going to be maybe an antagonist for Faraday and company. I have no idea, but he's pretty much like an asshole. This is the type of person, if you're a server, you do not want to have this type of person, because he just kept messing with this waitress, Daisy, poor Daisy. But it's interesting that, you know, he has a problem. He has an issue or something where, they gave him a little bit of a backstory where he helps like deport people and their families and stuff like that, which he messed up one time that kind of got him in trouble. Maybe he'll go down the same path again. So he goes to look for this Dr. Gregory dude, and ends up running into not what he expected. And this guy kind of knows more than we know, the audience, and this has happened before with the whole distress signal, and he's just wants to get answers but really isn't getting any clear answers, and he pretty much tells him like this is going to happen to you too, and before he offs himself, which was really really crazy. But I want to see where they take this character Spencer. So going back to Justin and her family, we see that her father is pretty much staying at this like retirement home, or like this center, but she's not able to afford it, and they're getting ready to you know kick her father out if she can't pick him up on time. A lot of stuff. But it's interesting to me as she goes to go pick up Faraday, and you know she starts to learn the truth about who he is, and she really can't really grasp it at all. um Him being an alien, and her having a purpose that she's supposed to help him build this and help him get to Seattle so he can complete his mission, not knowing that it's probably going to be detrimental to the human race, because that's why I'm really thinking that this is heading. But I like this scene right here, where they go to pick up not Faraday, but Justin's father, and she kind of lose tracks of Faraday, and he's just sitting there in like this little improv circle and stuff. That was really cool. But I also like the scene where you have the family kind of having like a cool little family moment where they're in the drive-through, and they're all jamming out to music. He's learning it really quickly and stuff like that. And the father really I think his name was Josiah. I'm probably off by that, but he really likes him. We also get more information about Justin's father and how they used to create this whole little, like, it almost, I think it was in like an attraction or an amusement park in a little bit in that sense. But I also like where they sat down to eat dinner, and the father's saying grace, and Faraday doesn't really understand this because he's a scientist, and he says something really interesting. We're not supposed to know everything. That's really dope. I know I'm kind of paraphrasing, but the way he kind of went about it, and it's true. We're not supposed to know everything, and there's people out there that want to know everything, but I don't think with the millions of years of knowledge and stuff that's happened to the world and just the universe, it's kind of impossible to know exactly where everything started and how we got here. We can only just guess, and it's really interesting, that whole conversation. Now here's where things get interesting, where Justin and Faraday kind of bump heads on something, and she wants him to get out of here, but he's consistent on wanting her to come with him to go to Seattle. He ends up doing something really crazy and heals Justin's father. He can walk again and whatnot, but there is a drawback to it, because it seems like he kind of takes on that pain, which is kind of interesting, and it kind of changes things, and I'm curious to see where it goes now. And that's pretty much how this episode ends. So we get a lot more kind of information on what the mission really is, and we get introduced to a new character named Spencer. I'm wondering what kind of role he's going to play in all of this. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed this episode compared to the first episode. Not saying the first episode was bad, but I feel like this just gave me more story, and just made me care about the characters more, care about what's going on with this story, and to see where it's all going to lead. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. I'm really curious to see how you guys like this episode, because it seems like, based off of my first review, a lot of people are really interested in the series. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.